Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. What a coincidence of numbers and of timing. We have an article from Ukrainska Prav, I'm sorry, from Russia Today, and where we have a Ukrainian politician claiming how many Ukrainian troops vanished, were killed, perished, I'm sorry, in this war, and he brings a total of 500,000. Very interesting is that a few days ago, I think 2 days ago, the UK intelligence came and the Guardian reported that the Russians lost in 2024, or up to the current date, the amount of 500,000 people. So let's start with the Russian article. Is right here. Ukraine has lost 500,000 troops, ex-prosecutor general. This is from 8th of January 2024. Kiev must come clean on the true scale of the losses, Yuri Luchenko insists. And I will show you who this Luchenko is. Isn't it a weasel way to keep away from the population the number of troops of your people that were killed? Because probably if you're going to be told that it's a great amount of troops that were killed so far in vain, I would say, because they fight for other interests, not for Ukraine, as they tell the Ukrainian nation that they are fighting the invading Russians. That's this much of the whole story. You're going to have the population, oh yeah, but if you tell them, hey, about 500,000 of your boys died, things will change. And we say, wait a minute, Zelensky is in charge of the Ukrainian nation, Zelensky, with Mihal and Yermak, and was Reznikov. Where is Reznikov? The former defense ministry. Another one of the four pigs. Where is he at? He was dismissed, clink, for corruption, blah, blah, blah. Was he prosecuted? No. Why? Probably he's in London, Tel Aviv, or New York. So let's see what these guys are saying. I think the information should be provided to the population so they know if they would like to still go on. But they're not. And that's the exact point this Yuri Luchenko insists. Ukraine's leaders should frankly admit that they have lost 500,000 service members since the start of the conflict with Russia, and that the monthly casualties rate is around 30,000. Former Prosecutor General Yuri Luchenko has said, well, I thought that Yuri left or is in Russia right now, but no, he's right here. I have him right here as a guest. So Yuri Vitalievich Luchenko, born 14th of December 64, is a Ukrainian politician whose most recent post was Prosecutor General of Ukraine from 12th of May 2016 until 29th of August 2019. Is a member, was Ukrainian Interior Minister and member of the Armed Forces of Ukraine during the Russian invasion of Ukraine. So he's right there. He's not like, he was charged and he was pardoned, and that's all we need to know about this guy. So it's not like in Putin's palace, picking up garbage from his swimming pool, cleaning it. President Zelensky's government could convince reluctant citizens to join the fight by publicly admitting the heavy losses on the battlefield and declaring that the country's very existence is in jeopardy. He believes, and I'm quoting, Ukrainians must know how many have died, and then all debates about the mobilization will be settled. But they don't want that. They want more Ukrainians to go and fight for the interests of the guys that shackled Al Capone. Well, and guess what? We have this article from The Guardian. And what do we have here? Russia-Ukraine war. Russia on course to have lost 500,000 troops by end of 2024, says UK as it happened. Let me see if I see a date here. It's 2 days ago, right? But where is the date here? I always have a problem to find these guys' date. Right here, Saturday, January, is that what it is? Or here, 2 days ago, right here. I'm assuming this is what it is, but nevertheless, I give it past few days. Nevertheless, these guys show up with their garbage right here. So let's see. Speaking to the country's media on Wednesday, so to the Ukrainians, the former official proposed a number of steps to address the draft dodging and corruption that is hampering the country's conscription efforts. He suggested that new legislation must be introduced by Zelensky, Ukrainian president. I will not call him like that. I will call the president of Ukraine, the country's defense minister and top army general, to emphasize the seriousness of the situation. And I'm quoting, "They should say how many Ukrainians have died. I know that this news would be received badly, but there is no other way to bring out of the comfort zone millions of those who hide behind bogus stories that everyone can serve except me." Or go in the other direction, saying no, too much now. According to Luchenko, this shock would lead to large queues at recruitment offices. I don't think so. As had occurred in February 2022, another important measure, according to the former official, would be the campaign to send members of the Ukrainian elite to the front line. Are you kidding me? There will be peace next day. And they will agree to that. And I'm going, the army should not be should be all workers and peasants. Everyone should fight for Ukraine, he stated. Unfortunately, Luchenko, they don't fight for Ukraine. This much they fight for Ukraine. I think all this is manufactured to turn some hatred, historical hatred between the cousins into this for the big interests of those guys. Got that? What the hell are you talking about? But he has to say it. What, you want him to be investigated by SBU and then charged with supporting this and denying that and being on Putin's... Anyway, Zelensky said on December that Ukrainian military has asked him to mobilize another 450,000 to 500,000 soldiers to make up for battlefield losses. Later that month, the government introduced a mobilization bill proposing to lower the recruitment age from 27 to 25 and eliminate exemptions for some categories of disabled people. The initiative comes after Ukraine launched a large counteroffensive. Okay, where did he say the number here? Did he say anything? I missed that. I don't think he ever said what is. I don't think they quoted him. The only thing is paraphrasing him, and I don't like paraphrasing. He says Ukraine has lost 500,000 troops, ex-prosecutor general. And he says here, Ukraine leaders should frankly admit that they have, is no quotation marks, that have lost 500,000 service members since the start of the conflict with Russia, and that the most monthly casualties rate is at around 30,000. Former prosecutor Papa has said, but I don't see any, this is paraphrasing here. And I don't see any, this is the direct quotation. Again, this is another direct quotation. I don't see the number in those quotations, my buddies. So what is that? Propa or not propa? It doesn't mean he doesn't say it, but I would like to see the quotations. And they say here where he said that. Now he says, speaking to the country's media on Wednesday, the former official proposed a number of steps to address the draft dodging. That's a different one. And then he talks about they should say now how many Ukrainians have died. I know this news will be received, but it's pop, zone millions, papulu, No, I don't see that. I don't see the direct quotation. And don't you think they should or use it? At least for me, for lowly me, which I'm very, very skeptical. You know, I would like to see it or hear it. I always like to hear the person say it. I don't like other people to tell me what other people told me. And if they do that, I would like to see it click in quotation marks, maybe the location, maybe the time, right, in front of whom, so I can verify. Right now, yeah, I can go on that Wednesday thing and speak Ukrainian, right? And what is the guy saying? I'm not going to find that, that's for sure. Now, did 500,000 servicemen died? If you tell me now, I would say yeah. If you tell me no, that they didn't, I can say yeah. So either way, I think it's possible 100%. Probable, I would give it 80%. I believe, I think, I don't believe, I think that close to 500,000, even more, have died. It's possible. How many Russians died? I don't know, maybe the same amount. I don't put this past the Russians, but on the other hand, I don't think so. The Russians, I tell you why. We were told that the Russians died about what, 350,000. I was about to say dollars, Jesus Christ. We know how many they mobilized. They mobilized about 1 million. Mobilized the whole front. When they had over there about 200,000, they had whatever in the provinces, the Donetsk, Luhansk. They had about, I don't know how many they got 70,000 or something. And then the Russians again brought 300,000. So I, being very generous, I give the Russians 1 million. And they said we got 600,000 troops at one point. I think Putin said a few weeks ago, he said, or a month ago during that media Q&A session, he said that there's 600,000 people fighting over there. So 600,000 people, if there were 300,000 dead, so they get what, 1 million? If he said 600,000, about 1 million. And still, there are 600,000. It doesn't mean that there are 600,000, but I think there's no more than that. And the Ukrainians, how many they have there? At one point, from what I remember, they said 2 million or so. At the beginning of the invasion, 2 million mobilized. Now I know they keep some troops in the northern border with Belarus, with Sumy Oblast, with Chernihiv Oblast or Chernigov Oblast, and Belgorod. They keep over there in the northeast and north against the Belarus. But in Belarus, the Russians have about 8,000. I don't even know if they have 8,000 anymore on the whole border. And I just made a video a minute ago with the Ukrainians claiming that the Russians keep 19,000 on the other side of the border with Chernihiv and Sumy Oblast, ready to do something. No, not really. Possible, yeah, but they say, well, we didn't see any formation of attack groups. But why do you say it now? Since you said, they say in that article, that the Russians were keeping those troops for months like that. I think it's a fire somewhere because this is the smoke. So I didn't see where this guy actually says that. It's just paraphrasing. I don't think the Ukrainians, the Russians from Russia today were so I don't know, vague. I mean, that would make a point. If you have the direct quotation, you would put it. I couldn't find the same number anywhere in the media, in the Western media. Before I got into this, I said, let's see if I find it in, I don't know, The Guardian or Reuters or something like that. The patient is dead. No, couldn't. Maybe because it's not true. I have no idea. Possible? Yeah. Probable? No. Possible, but not probable. The Russians usually, I got to know that, yeah, they lie as everyone else, and Ukrainians lie, and these mass media lies, but they are a little bit more consistent than the Ukrainians. I would give them 50% lie in general, and the Ukrainians I give, or the media I'm talking about 70%. So 2 out of 3 is a lie. The Russians, 1 out of 2 is a lie. Here it is. According to this guy, and according reported by Russia Today, Ukraine has lost 500,000 troops. I can't verify that. 1, 2, 3. That's what you said. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.